Radio would like to see this live, go to portalaschools.com, portalaschools.com, and down on the left side there should be a button that says live webcasts or something along that line. Click on that. That'll give you the directions on how to watch all this live. We appreciate Franklin Smith and all of his team coming out. They worked tirelessly today putting this all together. The ambassadors are here tonight helping keep everything organized. We've got a lot of candidates here. We've still got 3 more offices to go through tonight, so we appreciate you tuning in. And with that, we're going to go on to the county clerk's office. We have 2 candidates for this office, both on the Republican ticket, and we'll introduce both of them. And again, we were randomly drawn. So on the left is Beverly Bennett running on the Republican ticket, and on the right, Dion Searle running on the Republican ticket for the office of county clerk. And we're going to start same format, ladies, as we've done tonight. Opening statements, a few questions, and some closing statements. And since we went left to right in 1 and 2, Beverly, we're going to allow you to start your opening 2 minutes. Right on your chin there.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm Beverly Bennett. I came to Roosevelt County in 1974 as a freshman. I met my husband, Charles Bennett, at Eastern New Mexico University. We raised our family here for most of that time. We did go to Clovis and lived there for a little bit while we started our real estate company. But his family has lived here for more than 100 years, and we decided that's where we wanted our home to be also. I want Roosevelt County to prosper and to improve, and it's become home to me. And this is a small community, and I like this community a lot. And I want the county clerk's office to be a place that people feel comfortable to come into, and they feel welcomed, and you can receive a great, honest answer when you come in to get, you have a question. And I want to be able to help them get that answer. And if you can't get that answer, I want to be able to send you to another source. I am currently selling real estate. I have managed the real estate office for 20 years. I'm a member of the Portales Planning and Zoning Commission, currently serving as the chairman. I've been president of the Altrusa International of Portales, chairman of multiple fundraising and committees throughout the church, city, and the university partnerships. I understand computer programs. Well, you know, if anybody can really understand computers, you know, but I kind of have an experience with those and all the systems and how they work. I understand the timetables, and because I know there's so much that you have to do in the program to hit all those deadlines through the office. I am very OCD towards scheduling and completing work.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Moving right over to our next candidate, Dion Searle, your opening statements on the county clerk issue.
Good evening. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce, the Portales High School Media Arts, Carl Terry and Don Thomas for organizing and hosting this event. I would also like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedules to come down here and attend. My name is Dion Searle, and I am running for the 2-year unexpired term for county clerk. My parents are Doug and Deborah Crozier. I was born and raised here in Portales, and I am hometown proud. I've worked in the county clerk's office since March of 2008. I was hired as an entry-level position. I quickly learned real property records, indexing, redacting, and recording. In 2009, I was a team leader for the upgrade of our recording software to Tyler, and in that I became the liaison to coordinate future upgrades and implementing additional modules. I have successfully completed 73 credit hours of continued education in county government. I hold a certified public official certification along with a voting machine technician certification. I was appointed to the statewide task force for the new voter registration program so that we could custom tailor this new software for the needs of the state of New Mexico. Phase 1 of the new software has already been implemented. I am currently working with the task force to test phase 2. The goal of the task force is to fully implement by the general in November. In December of 2013, with the support of my staff, the Board of County Commissioners appointed me to the position of Roosevelt County Clerk. I have enjoyed the challenges of making the transition. Please consider electing me to continue to serve as your county clerk.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies. Let's go. We're going to start with this question and keep the mic right there. What do you think, in your opinion, the clerk's office needs to do better? What does the county clerk's office need to do better?
Educate the public on the election process. It is very confusing when you're talking about absentee voting versus early voting versus election day voting. That the public seems to be a little bit confused on the difference between absentee and early voting. And then we also have the alternate site for early voting. So communicating with the public on election issues.
Okay, pass that on over. Beverly, same question to you. What do you feel the clerk's office needs to do better?
I believe that we need to work better with the people that come into the office. I believe sometimes they are not served promptly when they come in. Sometimes they feel like they are waiting too long, is some of the things that I've heard there. They're not also getting the information that they need. Sometimes I think that will be served when they can get the information online. That is something we've really got to get. We've got to get that information online. So I have spent hours in those books back there trying to get information, digging through books back there on that. If we can ever get all of that online, it will be tremendous help. Also, there are other things we need to do to get more information. I think sometimes people come there asking for questions and there's not enough knowledge. So we need to educate the employees and not give bad information out. So.
Okay, thank you. Beverly, go ahead and keep the mic. We're going to go with another question to you. How can the county clerk's office become more actively involved in encouraging area residents to vote? How can the county clerk's office become more actively involved in encouraging area residents to vote?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is here we are, we've already started the absentee voting. It's like, and I got online looking on the county clerk's office. I did not see anything about where our convenience centers were located. I noticed we have 5 convenience centers, but I did not see where those locations were. Now, if somebody was looking for them in the past, you might know where those are, but the public cannot get on there and find those 5 convenience centers. They're not published online right now. Now, we need to get that out there for everybody to know, because somebody that is just now registered to vote, they're not going to know. So we need to get that information out right now. Also, do they know right now, maybe it's not very accessible to find where you can vote right now, and maybe it's not as easy for them to find where it is. Of course, granted, right now it's kind of hard because we just moved the courthouse over to the Jake Lopez building. Now we're going to move it back to the county courthouse, but that's not a normal situation. But it's communication. It all boils back to communication, whether it's online, in the paper, back to posters or whatever. Communication.
Okay, thank you. And Dion, question to you. How can the county clerk's office become more actively involved in encouraging area residents to vote?
I believe we need to have more voter registration drives. Getting the public registered to vote would encourage them to seek information. Also, on the voter registration cards on the very bottom is your voting convenience center, but you're not obligated to go to that voting center. Any voter can go to any of the convenience centers to vote. I do believe that communication is a big issue. We need more radio, more TV, more newspaper, more coverage. But communication would be absolutely the way to go.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. Moving on to another question, and just go ahead and keep the mic right there. Again, if you're just joining us, we're on 105.9 KSO Country, the Roosevelt County Candidate Forum. Right now on the stage, we have two candidates for the county clerk's office, Dion Searle and Beverly Bennett. And this question has brought Portales and Roosevelt County into the nationwide news. How do you feel about issuing same-sex marriage licenses? If opposed, will you issue? If elected, will you issue same-sex licenses anyway?
My personal opinion on same-sex marriage licenses is irrelevant. Our office is to follow the law. The law says we will issue them. Therefore, that's what we do. Part of the oath of office that I took when I was appointed was to follow the law. Therefore, I have no problem issuing them.
Okay. Beverly, question to you. How do you feel about issuing same-sex marriage licenses? And if elected, will you issue them whether the law says yes or no?
There are many situations in this society that I don't, agree with. But that will not keep me from doing my duties as the county clerk. I uphold the law, and as I take the oath of office, I will do what I am told, or I take the oath to do, and I will uphold the law and do what the office says to do.
Thank you very much. A couple other questions, or one other question, then we'll go to closing comments. Describe your personnel management skills and tell us how you would manage the employees and workload in the office.
Well, I believe currently there is the clerk and the deputy and 2 other employees. You are a team. There is no way. You are a leader, and then you have your employees. And you cannot do all the work yourself because that's impossible. And so you have to have everybody with their specific duties. And you are the leader, and then you delegate. And then you get everybody to work with you. And then you have everybody do their responsibilities. Also, everyone needs to know how to do everybody else's job in case somebody is sick so they can cover for somebody else. That's the only way that an office will work in that situation. Somebody's going to have to fill in for somebody else all the time, and you're going to have to cover for each other all the time. You're going to have each other's backs. You're going to have to be able to help each other out. You are a team, and that's the only way it'll work.
Okay. And question to you, Dion. Describe your personnel management skills and tell how you manage employees and workload in the office.
The first thing to do is find the strength of the employee and delegate the responsibilities that they have a strength in that area, delegate those duties to them. But cross-training is also very, very important because like she said, there's always sickness and time off, so everyone has to know everyone's job. I also believe in continued education. The county offers EDGE classes, which is a continued education classes for county government, and I am a very big supporter of continued education.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to enter into our closing comments for the candidates for county clerk, and since Beverly, you started, we're going to let Dion start on this one. At this time, I'm also going to invite our sheriff candidates, if they would make it to the side of the stage so that we can be ready to go with sheriff after this. We're going to start here with Dion Searle, closing comments on the candidacy for the Roosevelt County Clerk.
Having worked in the county clerk's office for the last 6 years, it has given me an excellent understanding of the duties of the county clerk, from real property records, indexing, licensing, elections and voter registrations to ex officio to the commissioners. I feel qualified to hold the office of county clerk. I ask each and every one to consider me for the honor of being elected to the county clerk. Please vote Dion Searle for Roosevelt County Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dion. And Beverly Bennett, your closing comments. You have up to 2 minutes to share your thoughts on the candidacy for the Roosevelt County Clerk.
Well, I realize that as an elected official, I am paid by the people. I answer to the people, and that most Americans are want to see people in the government responsible for the people that work for them. I want you, when you come into that office, to know that I am accountable to you and that I work for you and I will answer to you. I want to restore faith in American government, and I'm willing to do that through the clerk's office. I know that everybody that wants to come in there wants to be treated with respect and dignity, and I want you to look at me as a proven leader. I like Roosevelt County. It's my home. I want to see it progress. I'm ready for a new challenge. I want to bring my conservative business ideas to government. I think that's what business needs. It needs some common sense, some business common sense. Government needs business common sense instead of government common sense. So I ask you to vote for me, Beverly Bennett, in this election, because I will bring business sense to government.
Thank you very much. Again, your candidates for the office of Roosevelt County Clerk on the left, both of these running on the Republican ticket. Beverly Bennett on the left, Dion Searle. Please, a warm round of applause for these two wonderful candidates. If you're just tuning in, we're on 105.9 Queso Country, broadcasting from the high plains of eastern New Mexico as part of the Rooney Moon Broadcasting family of stations. We're your kind of country right there on 105.9. Thanks, Rooney Moon, for carrying this live. We are broadcasting live from the historic Yam Theater in downtown Portales. Also, we're online with our Portales High School Media Arts class is carrying all of this, doing the video podcast. If you're just listening on the radio, you want to go home and look at all this online. You can see all these wonderful faces. Yeah, and I look at Malin when I say that, yeah. You see these wonderful faces online. Go to portaleschools.com, and there is a live webcast tab down there. Look on there, click on there, follow the directions. It will get you right to it. We appreciate Franklin and all of the guys coming out, working all day tirelessly to get this going on. Carl Terry and our chamber board has put all of this candidate forum together. We are in the fourth of 5 sets of candidates, and we're coming up on the county sheriff's issue. We have one Republican, one Democrat, and so we're going to introduce both of those. Malin is on the left, running on the Republican ticket. Malin Parker, and running on the Democrat ticket on the right of him, Mr. Charles Perez. We drew before the thing started tonight, and Malin drew first, so we're going to let the same format we've been using all night. We're going to start with opening comments, a few questions, and some closing comments. So we will start with Malin Parker, your opening comments on the candidacy for the Roosevelt County Sheriff.
Hello, my name is Malin Parker, and I'm a lifelong resident of Roosevelt County. I've been in law enforcement since 1999, and I'm married to my wife, Ursula, for almost 20 years now, and I have one daughter. Her name is Tana. I found my calling in life when I began my career in law enforcement as a Roosevelt County Sheriff's Reserve Deputy. After my time as a Reserve Deputy, I took a position as police officer in the town of Elida. After about 2 years and a promotion to Chief of Police for the town of Elida, I accepted a position as full-time Deputy Sheriff for Roosevelt County. Another 2 years in patrol for Roosevelt County led me to realize that I had a knack for narcotics interdiction. From there, I naturally moved on to the Drug Task Force as an undercover agent for the next 3 years. As an agent, I was assigned to work narcotics in Roosevelt County, Curry County, Quay County, Guadalupe, and Abaca counties. I was also commissioned by the DEA as a federal agent and later received awards and commendations from the U.S. Department of Justice and DEA for my work in narcotics. I've worked every type of crime from beginning to end, ranging from traffic crashes to homicide investigations, and received numerous letters of commendation for my quality of work. Since beginning law enforcement, I've been nominated as Law Enforcement Officer of the Year in 2006. I've completed over 1,700 hours in basic and advanced training and received the highest level of certification through the state of New Mexico in the executive level. I'm a general police instructor for the New Mexico Department of Public Safety. I'm a state-certified firearms instructor, and I've graduated the match grade sniper school in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Since 2007, I've been your chief deputy sheriff and have served as sheriff in his absence. I have served as sheriff in his absence. I have overseen and influenced every aspect of the sheriff's office operations, and I have a true sense of pride in providing quality law enforcement for Roosevelt County citizens. I believe in the Constitution of the United States and stand in strong defense of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malin. If you pass it over to Charles. Charles Perez, candidate for Roosevelt County Sheriff. Share with us some of your opening thoughts.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Perez, and I'm the Democratic candidate for the position of Roosevelt County Sheriff. I'm 52 years old and a divorced father of 2 adult children, Kristen and Jake Perez. I'm a 1980 graduate of the Portales High School and have lived in Roosevelt County for a total of 34 years. I am a 2-time honorably discharged veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces, having served in both the New Mexico Army National Guard and the U.S. Air Force. I am a 32-year law enforcement veteran, having served in the capacities of patrolman, K-9 officer, criminal investigator, detective sergeant, and patrol sergeant. I've also served as a patrol deputy under 3 former Roosevelt County sheriffs and as captain and undersheriff during former Roosevelt County Sheriff Corky Newberry's administration. During the year of 2009, I also was employed as assistant interim administrator of the Roosevelt County Detention Center. In December of 2009, I began employment with the ENMU Police Department, where I have held the positions of detective and patrolman. I'm still currently employed with the ENMU Police Department. I've worked a total of 9 years with the Portales Police Department, 14 years with the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office, 1 year with the Roosevelt County Detention Center, and 4.5 years with the ENMU Police Department. I've chosen to run for Roosevelt County Sheriff because I feel that my vast experience and background in law enforcement would enable me to have a positive impact on the leadership and administration of the Sheriff's Office. I also want to give the Roosevelt County voter the opportunity of choosing whom they feel would best be able to enhance the capabilities and services offered by the Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. All right, let's go into some questions. So, Charles, you go ahead and keep the mic. And let's just start with you with this first question. What does the Sheriff's Department need to do better, in your opinion? What does the Sheriff's Department need to do better, in your opinion?
Well, obviously, anytime you work for a law enforcement agency, there's always going to be areas of improvement. Sitting here earlier and listening to the county commissioners, you know, I have to sympathize with the county government because of the lack of funding and the situation that our economy is here locally. I think as far as the Sheriff's Office is concerned, the best thing that we can do as administrators and or deputies, for that fact, is to see where, what areas, you know, we can try and cut down on expense. It's very expensive. Even though Roosevelt County doesn't appear to be a large county, I think it covers about 2,500 square miles. That's a pretty sizable area, you know, to patrol, and with the prices of gas and the cost of equipment, vehicles and whatnot. I think anything that we can do to coordinate specific patrols and things of that nature, try and ensure that our resources are lasting longer and are of better quality, would be a return on the initial investment.
Okay, thank you. Hand it over to Malin. Malin, in your opinion, what does the Sheriff's Department need to do better?
Well, that's tough for me to answer because I've been involved in virtually every aspect of the Sheriff's Office for the last 7 years and have made decisions that are going to influence the Sheriff's Office. So one of the things that I would like to see change at the Sheriff's Office, and not really change, but move toward where we've been, is we need to make the Sheriff's Office a marketable place of employment. Right now, we're going through employees quicker than we want. We've always tried to build the Sheriff's Office into an employee family type situation, so it would be a more family type environment as opposed to employee-employer relationships. But the money is the bottom line, and that's what drives the train. We understand that we're in a recession right now, and the Commission knows about our problems. They've worked diligently with us to help us resolve it, but we're going to continue to work toward that to keep some of our employees at the Sheriff's Office, so we're not just constantly rotating new deputies through the office and training them only to lose them to a higher paid organization. Again, that's one of the few things that I can see right now that we need to work on.
Okay, go ahead and keep the mic there. Let's go a couple of different directions here. If more restrictive federal gun control laws were passed, how would you enforce them at the county level?
I would not, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. First off, we don't enforce federal law. The government's made that very clear. but it's also, in my opinion, it's a constitutional violation as an American citizen. To me, the Constitution is not to be infringed upon or stepped on, and I would have no part of it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Charles, if more restrictive federal gun control laws were passed, how would you enforce them at the county level?
Well, actually, I would have to agree with Malin. You know, is a certified New Mexico peace officer, whether you're a sheriff or anything of that nature. I mean, we're sworn to not only, you know, support the U.S. Constitution, but the Constitution of of New Mexico and the laws of New Mexico. Malin's absolutely correct in stating that, you know, we don't have authority over federal law. Federal law has no authority over us, so it's just an issue that I don't think would exist in this area.
Okay. Moving right along. Let's talk about your feelings on illegal drug. Pardon me. Talk about your feelings on illegal drug use and distribution. How can law enforcement step up its efforts to rid the county of illegal drugs?
Well, obviously, I've lived here. Well, I know Malin's lived here his whole life. I've lived here about 34 years total. Drugs are a problem here, always have been, always will be. It's my understanding that Highway 70 is one of the main corridors that run through this region, as far as north to south and south to north, and the distribution aspect of the illegal activity.